What's up, guys? So I'm here. I actually got a friend that showed up and he's gonna hopefully video this for me next run. So this is Scrappy, 6-liter aluminum block, mismatched heads. Scrappy's got a 799 on one side, not that this matters too much, and a 243 on this side. And I've got 850 quick fuel on it. Set on the dragster headers on the red dragster. They're probably a little too big for this engine considering the size and the power. I've got, anyways, so to tell you a little bit, I got experimental cam from Cam Motion. It does have tie valves in these heads. Everything's used in the engine. It's got basically 3 sets of rods that I made one set out of one side of the engine. The even side's got a 50 head gasket. The odd side's got a 60 thousandths thick head gasket because a couple of pistons were out further. It's got a Super Victor intake. Flat milled the heads down to 53.5 cc chambers. It's about 12.6 to 1. I had to mill a bunch out of the manifold also to get it to fit. Like I said, I got an 850 my quick fuel on there. Got a 1-inch Wilson spacer plate. It's got just a Summit brand aluminum pan with a windage tray, and I spaced the windage tray away from the rods and pistons. I do have an ATI dampener on it, and with that being said, it's got factory stock coil packs with stock wiring harness, 6014 box. Let's see what else. I did run on Q16, had some 1540 weight break-in oil. It's got a ton of oil pressure, about 88 pounds to 90 pounds up top. So I'm gonna put some 10 weight Redline synthetic I've had sitting around for forever. That's probably 10 years old. So I'm gonna shake the bottles up real good because I'm sure some of the stuff is settled in the oil. We're gonna put that in right now. And I'm gonna cut the other oil filter open, take a look, but all is well. It looks like it's pretty good. But right now we made, let me back up, skipping ahead here. So I did go from Q16 to C45. I did pull some timing out and jet the engine up a little bit. And I'm doing this old school, guys, just reading the spark plug. I don't have an O2 sensor. I know everybody's gonna, oh man, why? Well, my headers, I don't have bungs in them, and I just quite honestly haven't had time to weld everything up. So anyways, this was the last pull. Anyways, Scrappy's pretty good. It's got flat top pistons in it, decent ring package in it. I don't have a vacuum pump on it. That would probably be worth another 10 horsepower. So long story short, guys, I'm gonna video a couple more pulls. I have a friend, I'm gonna run the dyno and he'll video, and we'll see what the Redline synthetic oil does. I don't know that's gonna do a whole lot on this. We'll see. I mean, if it picks up 5 or 6 horsepower, I think we'd be doing good. And maybe get a smidge of oil pressure out of it, but I don't know that a ton of oil pressure on the LSs seems to hurt with the hydraulic roller. So actually in my testing, I've seen that it's not a bad thing. So I did modify a stock oil pump in this too. I did this one kind of on the cheap, and it was literally the reason it's named Scrappy is, yeah, it's got some nice stuff on it, as you can see, but I did the ARP head bolts, and I did have the Super Victor intake, but the rest of it's just kind of mismatched whatever I had laying around. So anyways, have some more dyno videos up. I've already done some, a couple pulls here, so we'll keep plugging away and see if we can get Scrappy to make, I think the number would be 635 right now. I don't think it's going to make much more, but it's pretty good for what it is for the compression and the junk heads and so on and so forth. Okay, guys, have some pulls coming up here soon. Guys, so I'm just doing a little recap on Scrappy the 6.0. I built Scrappy for a spare engine for the red dragster, like in case I ever needed it. Hopefully not. With that being said, Scrappy's Scrappy. It's got everything mismatched like I've already covered. To recap on everything today on the dyno, I got to make 635 horse. That was on VP C45. That was with Redline 10 weight oil, though I think one bottle had 30 weight in it because it poured a little slower. And let's see what else. I did try some timing sweeps. I tried, I had 29 degrees in it up top, and I tried 30 one pull. And to be honest with you, that run, I got a couple puffs out the right side, or right side to me, looking at the engine, on the left side of the engine on the driver's side. A couple of puffs come out the exhaust at like 7,100 on up. Got 3 of them. Well, I had a couple of dips in the curve that pull, and my assumption is I was actually detonating on the C45. C45 burns pretty fast. It does make more power than Q16, which I originally ran it on. Second, the oil did help. I picked up about 7 to 8 horsepower pretty much all the way through the pull with the 10 weight. Now, granted, I think one bottle had 30 weight in it, like I said. So I am down the next dyno session, which I am going to put Scrappy back on and try a couple more things. One, I got some different, I want to put a little colder spark plug in it. I'm going to put an Autolite plug that I like to run. And I think that'll help out. Might be able to sneak a degree of timing in it then and not get it in trouble. And I think there'll be a little bit of power there. 2, I'm going to put I'd like to put like 11/30 seconds, 105 wall push rod in it. I think that would really, really help out. And 2 other things is I want to put at least a billet rocker bar, a rocker stand, and a set of ARP rocker studs. I think that would help out stiffen the valve train. And the other thing too, if I could get them here in time, I'd like to try the BTR, the billet steel shaft, and their rocker arm assembly, or uses the factory rocker arm, and try that because it's stiffen it up even more. So there's a few things I'd like to do because I think we can make it RPM pretty good. I think we're limited in peak and power at 6,900 where it did. Like I say, made 635 at 6,900. At 7,700, it's still at 602. 7,600 had 611. It's got a fairly aggressive lobe on it, but it's something I wanted to try. And I think if we stiffen the valve train up, might actually help it out a little bit up top. But I think the cross section on the port is kind of my Achilles heel or determining factor what we're actually going to make for power. But I think 650 is not out of the question with Scrappy. And the other thing I would like to try, I'm gonna put an old school. I'm gonna get one of the old GM. They made a smog pump, but if you could run it not backwards, but you could pull vacuum on the crankcase and not run any draw off the engine. So I might try one of those, see if we can pick up 5 or 6 horsepower. I think right now, 1 or 2 horsepower is going to show up. So anyways, Scrappy 6.0 is tough. Scrappy ran good. I'm going to keep working on Scrappy. And I think if we can make 650, it'll put the bracket dragster at sea level 770s. Especially if I can get it to run real good past peak power. That's what I got to work on now. So anyways, guys, as a good friend of mine says, she says, smash that like and subscribe button. And I appreciate you guys following, and I'll keep putting out more content. I'm still working on Project 7 Seconds. I got some more video coming up. Also got some more how-to on how to assemble a regular, hopefully 500 horse little street small block. And I'm working on that project as well. It's actually what's supposed to go in the El Camino. So hopefully here I can get a few more things out there you guys can check out, and just some how-to stuff. All right, thanks guys. Talk to you soon.